Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have some important downloads for you from the Divine Feminine Read this morning. I don't have sand art today, but I will do oracle cards. There's some other information that downloaded that I need to go through with you, and it all regards or relates to the 1111 portal. So it's important information. It is November 9th today, 2018. Something I was guided to this morning was, and there's a channel that I want to guide you to because it's really important, has some really good information. And one of the videos had to do with dimensions versus density, which was important, and I'll give you like a 5-minute summary, but I feel like you should go watch the video for details. And that is called interviews with the with EDs, so instead of ETs, it's extra dimensionals. And the man who interviews all these people who channel the ETs is Reuben Langdon, Langdon, and this particular channel is Rob Gauthier, Gauthier, channeling an ancient Pleiadian Ardif, who's from the 6th density. So just really quickly about dimensions and density, which will clear up a lot for a lot of you, I'm sure, who don't know this information. He talks about dimensions being just like you would think dimensions, right? So you have height, width, and depth. Okay, that's the 3rd dimension. Okay, adding space and time is the 4th dimension, and then 5D, obviously we're dealing with unconditional love at this point. Okay, so you can also have 3D that's not height, width, and depth, but actually height, width, and space and time. So a different form of 3-dimensional. But space and time together is the 4th dimensional. And then we get into unconditional love with the 5th dimension. The densities have to do with, so dimensions is more perspective, whereas density is consciousness. And this is just my take on it, so you should go and watch the video. So for density, the first density has to do with things that we think are dead, like rocks and the earth. The elementals, they're not alive to us, but that's 1D. But they do have a form of life, okay? So 2D is bacteria to plants and animals. 3D is the lower fractal consciousness. So that's like how we are in our daily life in the 3D, which is only 20 to 25%, so they say in this channeling, of our potential consciousness. Now 4D, 4th density, is the higher fractal consciousness, which is 75 to 80% of our potential. But we still, even though we're in the 4th density and the 5th dimension now, most people are still living in the perspective of the 3rd density and the 4th dimension. Okay, so obviously some more than others. So the main consciousness of humans here is still in 3D, even though since 2012, basically around then, was the time where we went to the 4th density and the 5th dimension. Okay, they also talk about the 5th and 6th densities as being harmonious, but they can't be with each other. Okay, so they're separate because whatever it is, the angle, the spin, and the configuration is different in the 5th and 6th densities. So although they're harmonized, they can't actually experience each other. And then when you get to the 7th density, that's when there's no physical at all. Okay, and so the channeler was channeling Ardif, who is 6th density, going into the 7th density, so leaving his physical form. Okay, so like I said now, and also DNA was brought up, as DNA is used to translate the non-physical into the physical, so the soul, because we are multidimensional beings of soul, and so the DNA takes us into the physical. So we do have the 12-strand potential, and that talking about the double helix as opposed to the triple helix, they were saying the triple helix is just the start of the 4th density. Okay, so the DNA may actually increase from there during the 4th density period that we're in. or experience. And then when you get above into the oversoul consciousness, you get into fields as opposed to consciousness. Okay, because it's more of an experience as opposed to linear timeline. Okay. So now we are in fourth density as multidimensional beings of 5D, but we're not usually experienced. We're usually still experiencing the 3D and the fourth dimension, but still mostly in the third density consciousness. So getting into the read today, and being that it's 11/9/2018, the 9 is the hermit energy of endings, selflessness, compassion, and universal selflessness. It's also adding up to the 34 or the 31/4, which is the 5 of Wands. That's that conflict or expansion energy of competition, fight. Okay, conflict. It is 31 is a 4, but it is the 5 of Wands. So the 4 ultimately is all about structure, and like I said, 4 is very much about root chakra living here on Earth, how to survive here on Earth. It's all about knowing how to build, how to manifest. People who can go out and get a job at a moment, and there's other people who really struggle with that stuff. That's the ability to manifest on the earthly plane, that fourth dimensional type of manifestation. The 31 is the 1 of the masculine energy on the inside, and then the 3 of joy and being friendly and social on the outside, of expressing yourself the way you want, but having that masculine drive and focus on the inside, which bridges to this 4. So, the read today for the Divine Feminine was at 9:52 this morning, and again, 1s and 4s and 5s come up, and they came up yesterday for the Divine Feminine as well. So that came up as important as the 1 + 4 = 5, or of expansion, so the build plus the masculine energy coming through to expansion. The 1 and the 4 or the 5, and again the 14 is temperance. So the major arcana for the Divine Feminine today, and there's more messages that were, this was kind of above my head actually, what was coming to me in this read, so I just wanted to make sure I get it out there now. The Empress, the Hanging Man, Reflection, Starseed, and Transition were the major arcana today. So that's the Empress is actually abundance in this deck, the Sirian Starseed. The Hanging Man is the Hangman, Reflection's the Hermit, and Starseed's the Fool. Transition is the Death card. There were 3 cups, 1 sword, 2 pentacles, and again, no wands for the Divine Feminine today. The only court cards that came up were the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and the only numbers that came up were that, like I said, 1, 4, 5, 9, and 14. But also 3, 1, 2, which is bringing up that 3, 2, 1 energy, or that 1, 2, 3. Or the Trinity energy. So again, 1, and then Trinity's coming up too. So 1, 3, 4, and 5 are all coming up. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are all here, and 9. So the coding had to do with relationship change. And it can be relationship change with anyone, including yourself. But it's about this transition through this 11/11 portal. Okay, so this read is all about this 11/11 portal coming up. It's very significant, because 11/11 portal is always significant. For the twins especially. I was getting to make sure you stay in your high vibration as much as you can in your wise power of abundance during this transition through the portal, having to do with relationship changes. And again, this is a union portal, the 11/11. So it's getting the high one, or to ace your perspective regarding wisdom or wise integration of abundance and clearing during this relationship change transition. Higher self-love may be blocked by masculine anger. All right, so I'm getting the L of love reflected. It says backwards, like, the loser L. Waiting for messages is blocking your abundance. So again, higher self-love is blocked by masculine anger. That right knee block is coming up again. Okay. Divine Feminine's waiting for messages. Your hope, it's hope. It's like lack. So you're blocking your abundance. Okay? So to get away from that, Be in your higher self, connect with what you're enjoying doing and celebrating with others and friends, okay? Friends, family, your twin, whoever you can be with. This is a time to celebrate and keep your energy high. So you don't have to be in a group or anything, but do what you love doing. You know, like, so when I do this, it keeps my energy high, okay? I was also, so again, this read is all about the 1111 portal and the importance of it. And I was also getting, and this came up at 10:17 this morning, was 3 Faces of Eve. And it's not about me, it's about Eve, and also because they relate things to me, because it makes things more apparent to me. The messages are more clear for me, okay? So the 3 Faces of Eve comes up. And notice here we have 2 queens in the read. Okay, so it could be the Divine Feminine and then 2 other queens, the 3 faces of the Divine Feminine. So I don't know if you can hear it, but my neighbor's like blasting music from his car, so I can just hear the thumping coming over from that. There's your masculine for you today, right? Showing their ego. So for the Divine Feminine, I was getting success, good news, and recognition brings satisfaction in self, spiritual love, connecting more fluidly with your higher self. So it's coming more naturally now to just be your higher self and not have to go into long, deep meditations to get there. It's becoming easier and easier to just naturally be connected to your higher self at this new moon in calm emotions. However, Scorpio runs deep and calm, which is deceptive, okay? And deception, there's a lot of deception with Scorpio, okay? So again, Scorpio runs deep and calm right now in the underlying energy, and it's telling you this is deceptive, because you know Scorpio can just reach out and grab you at any time. Opening heart to the present portal, or no, opening your heart to the present partial blocks of emotional detachment of the Empress or the heart. Okay, and this has to do with this masculine anger on the right. It's an Empress who's in power, so she's got a lot of masculine energy, disconnecting from her heart, because she's been taught that a woman can't use her heart in a place of power. She wears the right colors, the green and the magenta. So in this card, she's covered in green with a magenta scarf or blanket, whatever it is, across her. But she places the gold heart, the Christ consciousness, aside on the floor for safekeeping, like someone would hoard valuables. What value is there if not loved and appreciated, integrated into experiences? So why would you want to not use those things that you love and just put them away for no one to see, or for you to appreciate and experience every day? The things that you love should be part of your life every day. So it's saying that. Same thing with your heart as your valuables. Don't store them away for a rainy day. Make that your everyday. Passion without heart is pure ego. No real authentic inspiration, only intellect or intelligence. The High Priestess, or Ace of Cups, so her self-love, also could be new love, but it's really focused on this self-love and your connection with your higher self. Okay, you're in a higher energy right now. It's showing that. Getting the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the Knight of Wands must be integrated for you to have the full impact of your destiny. Higher love, abundance, and passionate movement. The abundance of the mother and the passionate movement of the masculine energy is the higher love, okay? Bringing those two together with your connection to higher self, that's where you're heading. This is the message I'm getting for you guys. The freedom of the heart, given to a non-fluid moment, creates a partial block, okay? And fluidity came up as a really important word, okay? It's like, and it's taking me back to my work, because I worked in interventional radiology. So when you have a blockage in your vessel, or stenosis, it can be a partial block or a full block. Okay, full block will shut your vessel down, right? And something might die off if it doesn't get fixed, right? But if you have a partial block, it just slows down the flow and makes it dysfunctional. Something unhealthy to the body also parallels to something unhealthy to the etheric body. If energy is strong and healthy, you can sustain a lot of sugar. But as soon as your body or emotions become vulnerable due to some kind of outside stimuli, the dark matter or energy thrives off the sugar and causes cancer. No sugar, and there's less chance of vulnerability, because you, in a sense, become immune to vulnerability. And this is that 0 point. Same with emotions. Practice cleaner emotions, or 0 point more often, and you become immune to the effects of triggers, emotional triggers or spiritual triggers, because you are never too far off the path. Staying connected to the pure energy of your higher self. And then the underlying energy of chemistry comes up. So, and it was just, and I had to smile there because it's just all about some simple chemistry, okay? It's about loving yourself first under this chemistry, okay? So even if you feel chemistry with someone doesn't mean it's someone you should get together with. Okay, you need to love yourself first. Is this going to serve your higher purpose? If an annoying bug gets too close to the light sustains and the bug gets zapped. And here was coming out the pillar of light. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. The more you free yourself, the more you polarize and strengthen the attraction within the toroidal field. Walking on the edge of the gate of the central sun as the 1111 portal begins to open. Or anyway, our awareness of it opening. I mean, that's a linear thought, so I actually was listening to something else. Actually listened to Magenta Pixie today as well. She's got an 11 video. She was actually, and I watched her after I did my read, and part of what she talked about was that the 1111 portal is actually always open. Okay, so it's our perception that these portals open and close, but the 1111 is like a universal law, right, for it to be open all the time. But anyway, so I'm getting in the cards that the portal is opening now, and I was getting the visual of X1X, which is the sun, the 19 of the sun, and the 10 of the 10 of cups, and the 0 of the fool. To be in control, the masculine must play two feminines against each other while he stays close to 0 point, or free. All right, listen to this again. It was so weird how this came up for me, and this came up in the information in the other reads this week in a different way, so I'm going to parallel those. But again, for the masculine or the sun energy to be in control, the masculine must play the two feminines, or the X and the X around the 1, the masculine. He must play the two feminines against each other while he stays close to 0 point, which is his freedom. But this is the old templating of the masculine, how the masculine stays free by playing the feminines against each other to compete for him, as he stays like detached and like he's at 0 point, like not being affected by anything. Does that sound familiar to you? So as the feminine timelines collapse into the central sun, all becomes one. And this is the 3 faces of Eve coming up, the 3 faces of what the divine feminine's been, and the portrayal of her in our past timelines. So again, as the feminine timelines collapse into the central sun, all becomes one. The masculine is no longer separate from the feminine, her 3 faces. He can no longer shut her up, use her as a sexual object, or emotionally or physically abuse her. The masculine walks a fine line at this portal. It is the fall of the ego. So some of the other things that were coming up from the other reads, it was just personal stuff. I was actually doing a read for someone else this week, and they were getting the same stuff I was getting for myself. And it had to do with the masculine's worried about the two feminines getting together and comparing notes. Okay? So this is definitely paralleling well with the one masculine pinning the two feminines against each other so that they would compete for his attention. Okay? And that's his weakness, because it's his neediness for attention. So it's about you, letting go of your animosity for the karmic partner and actually sending love to the karmic partner and understanding for her position and all of this as well. Okay, taking away that 5 energy from the connection between you and the karmic to neutralize it. Okay, because that will take the masculine's ego down. Okay, that makes sense to you, please comment below. I was getting it very strongly, okay? So the Queen of Swords reversed is coming up here, but not in a negative way. This is the Queen of Swords who's just been really hurt. Like, she's already in mourning when she's upright, the Queen of Swords. But I'm getting this Queen of Swords as the one who's already in mourning, who just was hurt even more. She sharpens her blade, right? So she goes totally into her head because she has to close her heart to protect herself at this point because she's just in survival mode. So she goes into her intellect to use that. So she sharpens her blade with light as the universe supports her efforts to stand her ground, lighting the Olympic torch that feeds the grid, a leapfrog effect to all pillars of light. This first domino is touched, and Spirit's connecting with me, and thus the rest will fall. All structures based on ego will break down to be rebuilt. The Emperor watches in disbelief as the awakened orchestrate the fall of the fool, the one who trips up due to his own lack of faith. And this is not the fool upright, this is the reversed fool. As destiny, the divine offers an opportunity for a higher love. Okay, and the song Higher Love comes up. Children may do flips and receive awards or get scolded at school for not focusing due to too much energy. Teachers must connect with their hearts, and children must be offered more physical activity as well as meditation time for rest and focus. The detached heart has no home or opportunity or stability. Okay? The detached heart has no home, has no opportunity or stability, okay? It's only a home when it's inside you and connected, okay? So there's dualistic competition. So this will falter. Dualistic competition, like we're so used to, you know, football games or whatever, will falter as expansion through self will bring achievement. So you can compete with yourself, which is expansion, but the dualistic type of competition will start to falter. Recently, the King and Queen of Swords are at perpendicular purpose, or cross purposes, as the Queen of Cups finds glory and happiness in self-love and begins to receive for the energy she has put out in love and towards her children. So there's this Queen of Cups who is being seen to have been loving and is now starting to reap the benefits of that in a monetary way. And this other King and Queen of Swords, who may be a couple, or they could be siblings as well, who are at cross purposes even though they're together. Or it could be the masculine and the feminine at cross purposes while the karmic is now manifesting some kind of rewards because she just stayed not knowing what was going on and now loving herself and her children. So either which way, that's one scenario. Or this is the past position. Or the Queen of Cups is expressing her self-love through different perspectives of her own masculine and feminine intellect to learn manifestation. Okay, this is about researching and studying her own ways of manifesting in a masculine way, a masculine intellect, and a feminine intellect. But it's all about swords energy. But the Queen of Cups is in her heart, so she's connected and then learning the intellect to work with in conjunction with her heart for best manifestation. The foundation has to do with that there is still a partial right knee block, which is, again, the masculine anger from insecurities in taking others down intellectually and verbally before they can hurt you. When you go on the defensive, you create an offense. If you stay in your heart and neutral, there is no attack. Centrally, the energy has to do with letting go of stress, anxiety, and suffering by ending the battle, the war. If you go on defense, you're going to have attacks. You're going to have offense come into your energy. When we stay neutralized or at 0 point, we end the wars. Okay, this is the energy that we're creating. Letting go of the stress, anxiety, and suffering by ending the battle, the inner and outer battle, as within, so without, to gain clarity of thought. By keeping your energy high, the lower energies are transmuted by the downloads of light, of healing, of dreams come true, and just you're being healed in general, and maintaining your groundedness. As the Queen of Pentacles in union with wisdom, or the wise one, and I was getting wisdom broken down because DOM is short for a document module, but it was like describing it, and that was from en.wikipedia.org. The DOM is, and this document program was being described like a tree structure. Each node is a part of the whole document. So it's not just unity consciousness, it's the same thing, you know, that each cell is part of the body, it's all one. So that wisdom, the dumb. And then the dom is also considered a monk or domain or domestic. So it's all about the home, wise home, okay? So we're bringing wisdom into the talk now here, okay? We haven't spoken a lot about wisdom. We speak a lot about love and truth and some other things, perspective even, but we're really getting more into wisdom. And wisdom was being shown as the fifth and sixth densities. That the fifth was actually wisdom, and then the sixth is actually integration of wisdom with the rest of the densities, okay? So the challenge for the Divine Feminine here was coming up as abundance and keeping your heart wide open. Staying balanced and patient while dropping your burdens of being a third party to the King of Wands partnership with karmic. It was like the King of Wands partnership with karmic savings or money. So it was interesting because the picture in the karmic, which is the Tarot of Sexual Magic, this card always is like the karmic energy of them together, that codependency, but the feminine karmic in that picture is actually blocked out, and that card is actually the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about saving your money. So it was like showing that the feminine wasn't really being seen as a feminine. They were being seen as a person, either that the masculine could be seen as having saved, or that she's actually just about the monetary value, okay? So here is coming up the rescue mentality, of letting go of that rescue mentality, where traditionally men who rescued also then abused those women they rescued through capture and kidnapping. As the Divine Masculine plays your heartstrings, okay? Manipulating you, manipulating the two women against each other to retain his power. Don't allow that. Okay, so now in the head and heart of the Divine Feminine, the Hermit expands the light in the dark. To release suffering, sovereign and implementing emotional clearings to beautify, or to make beautiful and purify the family and home, transforming anxiety and instability into strong family, or possibly a betrayal and ending of family. Leo is coming up in this energy again as well. So it's like Leo death or an ending is positive to this family. There's a positive energy coming out of this ending. And that has to do with the North Node in Cancer, okay? Because we're going into positive family vibrations. The Hermit also expresses passionate feelings with the King of Wands and healthy offer of friendship to a karmic. So coming from the Divine Feminine. Expressing, you may come together with your masculine this week. But some of you will come together into union and actually being able to develop a friendship with the karmic, okay? There's an offer of a friendship to the karmic now, who may be all business as your new passion takes off, as flame is reignited in the light of the harsh truth of the Hermit twins in union portal of 11-11-11. Soon, starting over in love and separation from the Queen of Wands reversed, who could be angry or just exhausted or both, the truth of the wounded warrior is revealed in a leap of faith and a fresh new start. The Divine Feminine is receiving multiple offers, either for her epiphanies or to rescue her from destruction and or drama. Maybe Rapunzel in the Tower. Okay, it's definitely getting that energy of Rapunzel in the Tower and two knights coming to rescue her. I think it was the Knight of, yes, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups were both offering at the Tower, all right? On the Divine Feminine. The energies mostly coming up as the players in this read were Taurus, Virgo, Aries, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. The cards that came out for Romance Angels were playfulness, to be playful, and also that it's safe for you to love, to open your heart to receive the highest energy. There is help now for you to recover. Around the Divine Feminine is hope, but be careful about feeding into hope. You don't need to look for the outcome. You only need to stay present in your knowing. The High Priestess without message at the new moon is holding on loosely to hope or a King of Pentacles offer of a new life. As the three faces of Eve collapse into one at this portal. Clear blocks of the Queen of Pentacles pride due to sorrow, blocks of triumph, of having no options, of facing conflicts, of competition and fighting. You have the tools to keep your peace and still be authentic and grounded. And then relationship change comes up in the numerology deck. One of them. You are not responsible for how someone reacts to your perspective. Give them time to integrate. So if they need to go away and pissed at you, allow them that. The two that came up more important for you are self-discipline and manifestation. And we were just at 3111. 31 is today. Okay, so fantasy, romantic, work partner comes up on this self-discipline and manifestation. The Empress allows others their feelings. For a happy family, holding back words and thoughts that are emotionally manipulative as the twins transform into union through this 11-11-11 portal. Twin with Taurus or masculine energy settles debts in separation or divorce to move, travel, and or ascend, and to let go of sadness, loss, and regret, and celebrate with the cups that stand before him. New love perspective to recover from hope, longing, sorrow, and suffering, to open-hearted abundance and a fresh start, a leap of faith, as the Queen of Pentacles and Hermit transition and ascend, end solitude, move, travel, and celebrate. A mother brings together sisters potentially, or goes out on her own, and the sisters may be upset about this, thinking, you know, how dare she be selfish? This portal marks the Cancer node, the north node of a mother and the family. And what a perfect time to enjoy Thanksgiving with others. The Divine Feminine has been loving herself, but may need to work on stability and home. Anger blocks of anxiety and solitude, to open the heart to abundant feast and recover by stepping into the unknown, following your guides and your ETs or EDs, and grounding through the next portal of your ascension path, the 11-11-11 portal. And now I'm going to pull some quick cards for you. We have, okay, the Ascension deck. Clear and align. Everyone take a deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. What is the advice for everyone watching today? It's 11/9, November 9, 2018. For everyone watching, what is the advice? Okay, we have Gold Ray of Christ and Buddha at the bottom. Perfect, because the Buddha is 33, which is the Christ energy. Okay? And Buddha says, the affirmation is, I am one with everyone and everything. So the read today was very much about unity consciousness. The Gold Ray of Christ is number 5, that expansion energy. Okay? Expansion, change, conflict, allow it all, because you are now prepared to stay in your authenticity and your peacefulness and still state your opinion and allow someone else to be angered by it. That is their issue, not yours. You can always be authentic, but still be kind and patient, okay? And if you need to, you walk away. So the Gold Ray of Christ is number 5. Blessings pour onto you when you choose this card of unconditional love at the 5th dimension. The Gold Ray of Christ is held within the cosmic heart at the 9th dimension. The angels ask you to invoke the love, wisdom, healing, and protection of this beautiful energy. Ask it to flow through you and surround you with its golden light. When you carry this high-frequency force in your aura, you can relax and know that you're totally safe. Remember to send the Gold Ray of Christ to others. And the affirmation is, I am the Gold Ray of Christ. Okay? So you can always use that gold energy or the pink compassion energy to protect you. Okay? And send yourself love at the same time. And then for the past life deck, take another deep breath. Clear and on. Clear and on. Clear and on. Okay, what is the advice for us all today? This November 9, 2018, for everyone watching, now and in other times. We have leaving or travel again, and love life. Oh, and communal living at the bottom. Okay, so communal living. And you see now here, the old structures are falling apart. Alright, the old structures, the old ways of living are now falling. Alright, the foundation was not good, so it's now falling apart. And the cards that came out for you, leaving and travel and love life. So how beautiful is that? Okay. You have your roses, you have your pyramids, your DNA strands. It's like one last look at the past. You know, because roses have thorns. I don't see any thorns in the picture, but you know they're there. It's like that Scorpio calm water. There are thorns there, okay? So the love life and leaving or travel, which is beautiful. So whether it's traveling in 5D or actually taking a trip together, it can be a trip with your masculine, it could be a trip by yourself, it could be a trip with your children or friends, it doesn't matter, family. Okay, but either way, it's about love, about loving your life. And that roses are that high, very high vibrational flower, okay, keeping your energy high. So when you do travel, make sure you protect yourself and keep your energy very high, okay? And remember, your suitcase has to be 50 pounds or less. And you have that 5, okay? 50 is the 10 of Cups, which also came up. All right, so now for Journey of Love. Take another deep breath. Journey of Love. Clear and away. Clear and away. Okay. So again, for this November 9, 2018, what is the advice for everyone watching and who will watch in the future and past? Whoever watches this video, what is the energy for everyone? Okay, that's beautiful. Falling is the bottom, is 14, which also came up, the Temperance card. It's all about balance and patience. Okay, the feather floating, falling. And we talked about falling too. It's the fall of the ego. Being light as a feather, 14. 5, expansion. Balance and patience, angel. Taking one step at a time. And allowing the fall. We're in the fall. Allow the fall. And then the card that came out for us, we were it was 3737, we were talking about the fall, which is the King of Cups. Okay. So heaven, very different in color and energy. Okay, so heaven is number 70, and 70 is the 2 of Pentacles. But 70 is the 0 of Source, God, energy, universe, behind, supporting the 7, the spiritual. Okay, the calm before the storm. Okay, the study of the mind in connection with the heart. Heaven. 7. 7th heaven. And you see in this picture, there's a whole bunch of people going through the portal in the light. Okay? So it's very much about this 1111 portal. You know, 11 is a higher octave of 7, because it's about spirituality. I'm going to read you 70, which is the last card in the book. The 2 of Pentacles. The jugular. Someone's going for the jugular. So it's the jugular, which can be for good or for bad. It can be about repeating patterns and being fake, but also can be about juggling the things that you love to do, to manifest. So you are meant to live heaven. Not later, sometime after you die. What use is this life and body if not to live heaven now? Just like I was talking about hoarding the things that you love. Look for the mad divine genius in all that is, especially the puzzling parts of your life that make you scratch your head or tear your hair or scrunch up your face and scream with frustration. Those are the places in which the divine is saying, here heaven is hiding. Let's unveil it together. Let me show you, let me unveil your own mad divine genius right here. Look for heaven even in hiding. It will not withhold itself from you for long, beloved. It wants to be known by you. This oracle brings you a special message. The enlightener is calling you to more, to more, to more. More divinity, more love. And by the way, when I started reading this, it just started pouring rain here. To more, to more, to more. More divinity, more love, more acceptance. More embrace of life itself. There's no limit in what is being offered to you from the divine lover calling to you, the beloved. Rejoice and know that the dance of love between you and the divine is a removing of the veils of illusion, one at a time, temperance card, one step at a time, until you behold each other naked and true, finally to discover you are each other. You are love, and Spirit's connecting. The poem reads, the sky ablaze with morning light, on silver wings of birds in flight, in gratitude a tear released, and knowingness embraced at peace. She speaks to those that gaze below, ancestral wings which may call my soul, to open hearts and soar above. In awe the winds await this love. Okay, so it's really beautiful about, you know, the morning light. It's so there's always a new day tomorrow where blessings come. So I'm going to pull one more card from the general Rider-Waite for you. See what last message we get for you. And that rain was just pouring during that card. Like, it totally quieted down at the end. Like, it's barely raining at all now. It was just pouring. It was a 41-41 too. So 41 is the Ace of Cups. So we had the 37-37, 41-41 come up. The King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Alright, clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, so what last advice do we have for everyone watching today, this November 9, 2018, before the 11-11-11 portal? What is the advice? What is the advice? That is beautiful. Alright, so the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords reversed, okay? So this is allowing all of the swords to drop out of you. Allowing the pain to leave. Not forcing anything, allowing it. Okay? There may be some holding of passions back here. The first card that came out for you guys is the Hierophant. Okay? Now this can be all about establishment. It can be about marriage. It can be about a Taurus. Okay? It could be about commitments, contracts, church, the Pope. But it's positive. It's just traditional. There's nothing wrong with commitment. Okay? Then you have the Hermit. Okay? The Hermit is very wise and introspective. And then we have the Page of Swords reversed. Okay? So, and it's just 43-43. I'm getting very much that the, you know, stop hoping for a message. This is about not getting a message. Okay? Yes, it could be nasty communication, but I'm getting it more as just not getting the message. Stop looking for the message. Okay? Stop hoping. You're looking for an outcome that's blocking you. Okay? So let go of the hope and just be your integrated self. And this is like, I'm getting like the three wise men, only the two wise men are saying, what happened to the third wise man? Where'd he go? We haven't received a message. He's not here. What happened to him? So it's possible someone could pass. Okay? But really, that's so funny that I was just getting that message. two of the wise men looking for the third wise man. There's no message. And the Page of Swords has been coming up a lot this week too, just in general to remind you of immature messages. So any messages you get online and news messages and, you know, tweets and whatever, they're immature because they're small and incomplete, okay, as well as children, okay, who may just say things, or adults who are acting like children because they're hurt. They say mean things because they're hurt. They're not using their heart. They're just using their words and their mind. So the wise one knows to, you know, shed a light on these issues, okay? Immature communication. Don't be triggered by it. Stop watching the internet, okay? Commit to yourself, all right? Commit to God. Commit to your higher self, okay? And be wise. Okay. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Please comment below if you need any services from me. I have 25% off all month. My information is below. Make sure to drink your water, get your rest, ground, and be good to yourself. Enjoy. Have an amazing week and celebrate. Bye. Oh, forgot the picture. Here's the read. Okay, sorry about that. Bye.